many passengers do you want to carry?
Hey, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in again. I have another example. Tonight I'm in Philly, so I'm going to give an example for an aircraft in Philly. So let's get into it. 17 aircraft based on the parameters that I'm about to speak on. Lowest acceptable year is in 2007. That's going to make it an 18-year-old aircraft. That's just generating a random number that I thought was reasonable. Range, putting the map up. So we're going to be able to go 1,800 nautical miles. The average trip length is going to be 1,362 right there. We're going to take 52 trips, so every other week we're going to take a trip. And for charter purposes, the same trip length for whatever airplane you end up getting, and we're going to do every week. We're going to want it to go on a trip about that length is the goal. That's your charter rate or percentage of profit for the variable cost per hour. You can see about 20 or 30% for the owner by charter per hour. Years of ownership, we're going to do 5. Depreciation rate 4%, which is a standard amount. Average price, we're going to keep it under $10 million to carry 8 passengers over that 1,800 nautical miles for the longest leg. So anything greater than 1,800 nautical miles, that's what we're looking at today. So 17 aircraft. Let's get into what the answers are. Multi-year total cost, I'm going to sort by that. So the cheapest we can get this mission done for is $8.2 million over 5 years. So that includes purchase price, your fixed cost, your variable cost for the amount of hours that you're going to operate it yourself, and then offsetting the charter amount, and then depreciating the aircraft. So 8.2 million, that's going to be the Hawker 800, then the Hawker 750, and then a King Air. So people are saying, I'll save money if I get a King Air, maybe in the long haul, 10 years. But for the short term, 5 years, some Hawkers are your best friend. Now, let's get into if you sold the aircraft with the depreciation of 4% after the 5 years, the King Air then wins. So 5.2 million, then you have the Hawker and the Hawker 800, Hawker 750. They step underneath just a little bit. So numbers we're going to be comparing is your multi-year total cost with the aircraft sale, and then in comparison to the cost to charter. So 160% is about the number based on hourly cost or variable cost per hour to charter an aircraft, and that's before you talk about all the membership fees and empty leg fees and all the other fees that come with charter. That's just about the base price that you can expect. But then the own to charter ratio is something I made. So this is going to compare your multi-year total cost with the aircraft sale compared to the cost of charter. So owning versus your charter ratio. So if it's under 1, then it's a better deal to own it. And if it's above 1, it's a better deal just to charter it. And this is accounting for you operating it for every other week, but chartering it every week in addition to that. So being pretty aggressive on your charter game there. And this is conservative with the 30% profit margin. Maybe you can get 40 or 50% profit margin per variable cost per hour. But I'm just trying to show you conservative numbers. We can mess around with depreciation rates, cost to charter, anything you want we can customize and look at. But I'm just putting in conservative estimates based on everyday use. Okay, so own to charter savings here. So if you own it, you're going to, on this Hawker 800 XPI, you're going to save 1.2 million over 5 years. And then vice versa, the King Air, if you were to go charter it, you would save 1.4 million. You can see that here, 5.2 comparative to 3.7 million on the cost to charter. Moving on, so to give you, those are the parameters for the aircraft, to give you the 5 categories of the best aircraft. If your mission's speed, range, efficiency, performance, or you're just looking for the best all-around aircraft, this is what we're going to go into. So best speed per dollar is a Citation 10. We have a score from 19 to 40, so we can say the Citation 10 is twice as good as a Challenger 850 will be on the value you get for the speed based on how much money you're spending. Now, if I was going to go to best seat speed per dollar, A to Z, it's still going to be the Citation 10, but what I want to take a look at is the G350. So if I come over here on the passengers, right there, so 14 passengers, we're still looking at about a $7.5 million purchase price, and it's a bigger airplane, so it's going to cost more to operate. But for how many people, if you can fill it up, so say you want a minimum of 8 people in your aircraft at all time, but you want to take more baggage capacity like the G350 can, especially in comparison to the Hawker 800. That's right here. So the 169 cubic feet on the G350 comparative to a Hawker 800, you're taking 49 cubic feet. So if you want to have that flexibility, you want to have extra range, you're not going to be too far out of your wheelhouse. You're still getting a good deal for best seat speed per dollar. If you can fill up the airplane, if you would like the flexibility, it's a good option. It still is a better option, saving more money, still going fast, accomplishing your mission to do the Hawker 800 over the G350, but it's something to consider. That score right there, 2.44 to 2.4, it's very close call on that. So that's just how we're interpreting these categories and these results. Best range per dollar. The Hawker 4000 can go the farthest for the money, second to the Hawker 800 XPI and the Citation 10. Combining speed and range, get best performance per dollar. I'm talking about value here, Hawker 800 XPI, and so we saw those the Hawker 800 XPI either come in, I think, second place both times. So we're seeing it come out on average for the best performer for the money. Best efficiency, this goes off cost per mile based on the amount, multi-year total cost. The King Air 350 ER, so that's very explanatory. It's going to have a higher purchase price, maybe higher fixed cost, but your variable costs are going to be the winner here, which is driving that cost per mile down. But when you mix that with the dollar amount multi-year total cost, that's going to make it get even closer to a Hawker 800 and not just completely separate it from the competition. Hope that makes sense. I'm trying to explain it the best I can. Best all around, what we have is Hawker 800 XPI. So as we have gone through the process, you saw the speed, the range, and it topped out on the performance category. I want to go back and see what it was on efficiency. It was second place on efficiency. So you can see and piece together how it comes out to be the best all around. And how I get that all around score is taking a performance and efficiency average and giving you a score based on that. So you're not going to be disappointed. It's a pretty far above average winner on top of the Citation 10. If you compare it to Challenger 850, you're beating it a value. It's 3 times more value for you, still accomplishing the mission and everything like that. And if we go see for best seat all around, it still wins that as well. So if you went for the best all around aircraft and you wanted to know multi-year total cost, that's going to be $8.2 million over the 5 years, and you can know I'm getting a good aircraft for my money. The next best value for your money all around would be the Citation 10, $9.9 million. But as you can see, whatever you want to filter by, whatever your mission is, and then we can make a selection based upon if you want speed, if you want range, whatever you're looking for. It's a factual decision. It's not a biased decision. So give me a call, send me an email. I'd love to walk you through this. I think it can really help people. I'm not looking for any kind of compensation. I'm just looking to make a connection here and there and to really just help people. So thank you for your time. I really appreciate you watching.